Small businesses owned by people of color can have special needs and challenges. Among those is access to capital and other support. U.S. Bank helps these business owners through its Access Business program. A bank advisor is now on board to offer special help just for those Milwaukee businesses. Joining us is Nina Johnson, Senior Vice President, Wisconsin Branch Banking Market Leader, and Micae Brown, Assistant Vice President and Business Access Advisor. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Micae, what services do you provide and how are those services unique?
What I provide is really being an advocate to our business owners, holding their hand and ensuring that they know how to navigate the banking system. I will make sure that they know how to build a relationship with their business bankers and make sure that they understand that they can too understand how to make sure that they know how to walk through the entire full scope of understanding the banking process.
It can really be daunting to do that when you're just sometimes dealing with your personal banking. I would imagine it becomes much more complex when you're talking about establishing that relationship and doing that banking for a small business.
It is complex, but it's also simple too, because sometimes all you have to do is just walk in the bank. Unfortunately, especially when we're dealing with minority business owners, sometimes there's myths in our community that we need to dispel, and that is why I'm here.
So what are some of those myths that you work to dispel?
Many times, business owners feel like they have to cash flow their businesses. Over 50% of our business owners right now are funding their businesses with their own pocket in fear if they don't qualify for a loan. But guess what? You actually can qualify for a loan. And that's just because they don't understand what those qualifications are and what the process is to qualify. So I will hold your hand and I work in conjunction with our small business bankers and our business banking relationship managers to help you understand what that qualification process is. And if you don't qualify, I also help connect you with our technical assistance providers, but those are external nonprofits, to get you up and ready.
What are some of the services or provisions or programs that those external partners can offer to help folks get ready?
Good question. So one of the biggest things that I see currently that are impacting or hindering our business owners from getting traditional bank financing is a personal credit score. I mean, let's face it, things happen along the way, especially when we come out of college. When college students are there, they're credit card companies are like, hey, let's get a credit card, and we may make some mistakes along the way. So sometimes the things that we do early on in our personal credit journey may impact what happens on our business side, because a lot of what we need to qualify for a business loan will need to be on our personal credit side. So our technical assistant providers will help you kind of clean up what's going on your personal credit side. Also, some things that we'll help you with is getting your paperwork together. And that's one of the biggest things, just not understanding what a financial statement looks like, what an income statement looks like, or cash flow statement. So we have technical assistance providers that will help you get all of those pieces of paper together that your lender is going to ask you for so that you come to the table well prepared.
People don't have to have everything together before they sit down to meet with you.
No, you don't have to have anything together. You just have to come with an open mind. That's all I ask for. An open mind and an open heart. And just make sure that you tell me all the facts up front. It's so important to be honest, because let's be clear, a bankruptcy is going to show up whether you tell me now or tell me later. So just let me know all the facts up front so that we can deal with it head on and make sure we put you in the right product and service.
You are providing your service. This is a new service in Milwaukee, but you have been working in the Chicago area providing this service for a while. Give us an example of some of the ways you've been able to help businesses find success.
The successes. Some of the things the success stories I love is just when things just happen on accident, when people are just searching on the internet because they need help. So I had this one woman in Chicago that was a part of our Black business tour, and she was starting a Harold's Chicken franchise. She was just searching online and found my face and clicked on it and booked an appointment just on a whim. And she was like, listen, I'm starting a Harold's Chicken franchise and I don't know where to start and I need help. And we were able to connect her with one of our small business specialists in our Oak Park, Madison location. And she was able to assist her with equipment finance. She was able to hook her up with business checking and savings accounts and also some secure loans, all the things that she was needed to have to get her franchise up and running. And now she's creating some of the best chicken on the south side of Chicago.
Well, it almost makes us wish we were on the south side of Chicago, so maybe we could do the interview there. But we're here, and that's good too. Nina, is one of the advantages of having someone like Micae available is that it really helps to break down barriers and dispel myths that exist in communities of color about establishing relationships with banks.
That's exactly what it does. And I'm so honored to have Micae in the state of Wisconsin because, we talked early on your show about the importance of the access commitment and how it's supposed to impact three consistent pillars of what Black as well as Brown populations are dealing with right now. Post-COVID, we're trying to identify ourselves as successful leaders in communities of color. And so for those who are Black and Brown business owners, when they're trying to just kind of pivot a little bit and get beyond what COVID potentially did to their business, this initiative is timely, it's impactful, and it's also a strong resource for forward movement in the Milwaukee footprint specifically, but in the broader state of Wisconsin. When we think about how many people are in Milwaukee proper, just taking Milwaukee as a subset of Wisconsin, and we understand that there's approximately 12% of our business owners who are Black, another additional percentage of Hispanic populations that are owning and or aspiring to own businesses, we know that there is a definite need here right now in the southeastern quadrant of the state. So having somebody like Micae, who is not just covering Chicago, but also Milwaukee, is a game changer. And so the fact that we have somebody with that skill set ready to say, hey, let's roll up our sleeves together. Don't worry about your FICO score. Yes, you may have had a bankruptcy or foreclosure, et cetera, but there are portions in your schedule, portions in your plan, portions in your strategy that we can dig into right now to get you moving on the right track. And so from that perspective, super excited about the plan for next year. And just surprised that Micae is here on a snowy day like today. So thanks, Micae.
Absolutely.
So you hit a really important point, Nina, and that is that this is not just something for new businesses. If you have an established business, you can come in and work with Micae and get things back in order.
That's right. And so, Micae, I'll let you talk a little bit about that aspect of your role. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I'm just elated. So I could talk for hours about why she's here and what she's doing, but I think we'll let the subject matter expert take that question.
Nina doesn't like to talk about herself, but I'm excited to work with her. She brings a breadth of knowledge to the banking industry, and it's an honor to work with a woman of color in this industry. So I'm just excited to be in this market working under her. But no matter where you are in your place of business, we can work through anything. It may not be through a traditional lender, but what's important to know is that our bank works and donates money to external organizations, one of which is called a CDFI. It's a Community Development Financial Institution, and they're community lenders. And so we give them money via grants, and we also give them money that they can lend out that they have to pay us back. And what's important to note is that they work with businesses that we typically can't lend to. So they're like a bank without deposit. And you're probably wondering, well, why would you want to work with them? Are they in competition? Well, they're technically not in competition to us because they don't own the deposit relationship. So in theory, we would have your deposit relationship, and eventually you would graduate out of the CDFI relationship because they do have restrictions on how much they can lend. Some of them can't lend up to a certain amount. Some of them have restrictions on how far they would lend in terms of commercial. Maybe they don't do commercial real estate, et cetera. But they will get you to a point where your portfolio will be more attractive to a traditional bank, and then you come back to us inside of a traditional banking lending relationship. So we are here to be that conduit to help you understand and give you the educational resources to put all of those pieces together, because it's extremely difficult.
Right.
Me as a business access advisor, I even get confused with all the resources. So I'm here to help you just put it all in one place and make those hand-to-hand connections and handoffs. And that's one of the most critical pieces, because it's overwhelming. You're running your business, you're like, I don't know who to call. I will tell you exactly who to call. I'll tell you what to ask for, and I'll tell you the forms to fill out. And that is the most critical piece.
Thank you both so much for being with us tonight and sharing this information that local folks can now take advantage of as well. For more information on Access Business, check out the website, usbank.com/access.